been a year since the 49ers traded for Trey Lance. They traded a first-round pick. They essentially spent 3 firsts and a third on Trey Lance and then didn't really let him play as a rookie. And now they're making him the starter evidently, although they won't say so. Do you think that was the right move in retrospect?
Yeah, I still feel like it's completely unknown, but I will say this. What we can say is we've now seen some of these picks go off. This year, pick 30, the Patriots took Cole Strange, a reach, I thought, at guard. And then at 102, the Dolphins took Channing Tindall, a linebacker, pretty good little linebacker. But if that's what you missed out on to get your franchise quarterback, a guy that I believe in heavily, so far, so good. The 49ers have absolutely made the right moves. Now, we can say, well, there were multiple guys there that could have gone at pick 30 and 102. But we also just saw the 49ers take Ty Davis Price. So who knows what they would have taken at 30 if they were there. To me, so far, yes, it is absolutely the right move. But Trey Lance has to be very, very good. Not right away, right? He has to be better than Jimmy, but he has to be very, very good eventually to make this worth it. And much better ultimately than Mac Jones, Fields, some of these other guys that were available as well.
See, that's not the way I'm looking at it. I hear what you're saying. But to me, the right move was not trading for Trey Lance. The right move is what young Vish was advocating for all along. It's trading for Stafford. And the Rams did it. And the Rams won a Super Bowl. And I don't think it's far-fetched to say if the Niners had pulled the trigger for Stafford, who was cheaper than Trey Lance, might I say, that they would have won the Super Bowl last year. And it's possible that Trey Lance will win multiple Super Bowls with the 49ers, and he'll be their quarterback for 20 years, and that'll be the right move, right? But he needs to do that because, right, like a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Matthew Stafford was a bird in the hand. You could have had it. You let him go to the Rams. They won the Super Bowl. They got one. One's a lot. One's all you need. One is all you need, Kyle doesn't have it. Sean does. So I'm thinking until Trey Lance shows that he can win a Super Bowl, I know he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo, but that's not the question here. Was that the right move? He was more expensive than Matthew Stafford. Stafford won a fucking Super Bowl last year.
He did.
I'm thinking that was the right move until proven otherwise.
Well, I'll say this. Had they gotten Stafford, it sounds like Jimmy Garoppolo probably would have been a part of that deal. That's an automatic win right there. So
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. So my dad keeps bringing this up, Bill Walsh wouldn't have done the Trey Lance trade. And it's nothing against Trey Lance. He might have drafted Trey Lance if he had just had the 3rd pick, but the Niners didn't just have the 3rd pick. They moved up. That was a huge trade up, historically big for a guy who played 1 season at North Dakota State. And we all love him. We like him very much. But wow, that was expensive, man. Very, very expensive. And yeah, the fact that Matthew Stafford was cheaper is hard to get your mind around. So yeah, the bar is real high for Trey, unfortunately. And it's not his fault. It's definitely not his fault. It's the Niners' fault.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. But then the flip side of that is, to 49er Daddy's point, Trey Lance would have been the first overall pick. What would have it cost to the team? Let's say the 49ers had the 12th pick this year. What would it have cost to move all the way up to number 1? Probably quite a bit, knowing he was the only true quarterback worth taking at all in the first round.
Right. Well, it's always going to be interesting. I mean, Joe Montana, 3rd round pick, bargain. Steve Young, I think they traded a 2nd and a 4th. They sort of bought low on Steve because the Bucs sort of tarnished his image. The Niners bought very high on Trey Lance. That's why I think they're so reticent to play him. They understand the stakes are very high here. They raised the bar on themselves. He can't come out and flounder. He's got to look not like Patrick Mahomes, but he's got to look really good right away. Otherwise, it's not just that he'll get criticism. They'll get criticism because they put all their chips in here. I sort of get it. Anyway, the verdict's out.
The 49ers' mistake wasn't as much about drafting Trey Lance either, by the way. The 49ers' mistake was about messing up this quarterback situation from the very beginning.
Dude, they could have had Mahomes. They could have had Brady. Like, it should never came to that.
It shouldn't exactly.
Never. This is like a Trey Lance is Trey Lance is a Band-Aid on a problem that was there years before. And I don't mean to call him a Band-Aid, but like that's why they did what they did. He could end up being the greatest quarterback in franchise history. But that's how they got here, because they messed up multiple times. They're like, okay, what do we do? What do we do? We got to move up. We got to.
Well,
move
and
up.
even last offseason,
position, not even for the player. They're like, we don't even know.
Right? But that's exactly it, right? Like even last offseason, I felt like they didn't really have a plan. They had a goal of getting a quarterback.
Right.
But who that quarterback was and how they were going to get that quarterback, they did not know. Because first of all,
they were trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers like the day of the draft. Like, what is your plan?
Exactly.
What is your plan? Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. Robert says, quarterback situation, Jimmy on the roster, Debo causing problems, limited free agent signings, lack of first-round picks, and an odd draft. Are the Niners a team in chaos? There seems to be no direction, no clear plan. I feel like there's no urgency. I feel like this kind of like an unwritten, unspoken thing that, like, look, it's Trey's first year. Let's start a bunch of young guys and like kind of fast forward the developmental process so that Trey's Super Bowl window opens as soon as possible, because it's not open now.
I read that comment,
but we're going to talk
about it. Was the 12 days of Christmas, by the way, as I went through that. I love that. But I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like it's all doom and gloom, because I really don't feel that way. We're going to talk about where we think the 49ers are. And I think you'll get a good perspective. But at the same time, you can think a team's good, but think that they could be a much better if they had just made some minor tweaks here or there.
AMD 49 says, I'm more excited about our UDFAs than the guys we drafted. What say you, Grant? Yeah. They had an A+ undrafted free agent signing class, and you could say they had like a C+ draft or worse. You could say a lot worse. I'm sorry. Abu Marco 23 says Josh Allen's the comp for Lance. The ceiling, if we hit that, everything and more is worth it. Yeah, agree. I do.
Sure. Yes, of course.
It's just such a high standard, dude. Josh Allen is so good.
Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, right now. So if he's Josh Allen,
all he has to do is be Josh Allen. Like, all right, well, all right, Trey,
all right.
Look,